Looks like Jokic is still living his best life, celebrating that bronze medal win at the Olympics.
This is SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Luca Celebre filling in for Marissa Roberto, and earlier this week we brought you all the details of the Emirates NBA Cup. Well, just a couple days later, the association released its entire regular season schedule, and it's got some doozies, so let's go through it with you. NBA action officially returns on October 22nd, when the New York Knicks head to Boston to take on the reigning champions. For the Knicks, it'll be the debut of their newly acquired star Mikal Bridges, who they acquired from Brooklyn back in July. It'll also be the reunion of the Villanova Core 4, as Bridges joins Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo as former Wildcats on the Knicks roster. Later that night, the T-Wolves head to the City of Angels to play the Lakers, where history could be made as LeBron James and his son Bronny could potentially take the court together for the first time. It would be the first instance of a father and son playing together on the same NBA team, and only the fifth instance in North American sports history dating all the way back to the 1920s. It'll also be a big night for LeBron himself, as he'll officially begin his 22nd season in the NBA, a mark that only one other player, Vince Carter, has ever reached. It's pretty insane to think that LeBron's NBA career has been longer than Victor Wembanyama's entire life. And that's just how long King James's reign has really lasted. Speaking of Wemby, he and the Spurs will kick things off on the NBA's biggest day of the season, Christmas Day. And this year's Christmas matchups look excellent, as we'll see matchups that include LeBron versus Steph and Jokic versus Durant. We'll also see a new chapter of a historic rivalry, as the 76ers will face off against the Celtics, but this time Philly will have their new shiny toy Paul George on their side. The Celtics have dominated this matchup in recent years, winning their last 4 playoff series against Philly. With PG now in the mix, maybe the Sixers can put up a better fight. That is, if he can channel playoff P, not way off P. Staying in the Atlantic Division, the Raps have some intriguing matchups this season as well. Toronto begins its season on October 23rd, when they host Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs. While they don't play on Christmas Day, they've got back-to-back games on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, those games coming against the Celtics and Nets respectively. Toronto's regular season will come to a close against Wemby and the Spurs, and by that time, the Raps hope they'll be back in a playoff position. The jury's still out on whether Toronto can push for the playoffs this year, so we'll just have to wait and see how everything plays out. Now, for each of the last 2 days, we've played a Fast 5 game with 2 members of Canada's Golden 4x100 relay team. And today, we're lucky enough to have another Canadian medalist from Paris 2024, Asia Hogan-Rochester of Canada's Women's Rugby Sevens silver medal winning team. So let's make it 3 straight days of Olympic Fast 5. Asia, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Luca. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's dive right in. What was the moment like when you were presented with that silver medal?
I will say this medal is very heavy, so my neck definitely dropped down a little bit. It was a bit of a shock, but yeah, the whole time I was on the podium, I was actually just pinching myself and just making sure that I was actually awake and this wasn't a dream. And it was just such a special moment to be able to share it with my best friends, my teammates. I was actually hugging like one of my closest teammates, Alicia Corrigan, the whole time basically, and just like crying to her and just being so grateful for the position that we're all in.
I'm glad you brought up how heavy a medal is. I feel like us watching at home, we don't really think of that when they place a medal on you, but something to note for any future Olympians out there. You played a big part in leading Canada back from a 12-point deficit to Australia in the semis to guarantee your squad a medal. We were all riveted by that comeback. What was it like to be part of such a massive upset?
Yeah, it was huge. I'll say that I think the girls, before we even stepped foot on the field, we knew that we had all the potential to win that game. And it was just a matter of working collectively. And I got on the field and everyone did their job, so it made me doing my job that much more easier.
Speaking of wild comebacks against Australia, the Americans followed that up with a buzzer-beating victory against the Aussies in the bronze medal match. Have you thought of the possibility of an all-North American gold medal matchup in Los Angeles in 2028?
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing just for old time's sakes. Yeah, the USA girls, I definitely just want to hand it to them and totally commend them for their efforts. Like, it's so amazing to see 2 North American teams on the podium in rugby, women's rugby, that's growing rapidly across North America. So I'm really excited for what it's going to do for the country. And again, I'm just so happy for that whole team.
Who's been the coolest person to reach out to you since you won silver?
This person did not reach out, but I just ran into them at the Olympic Village, so that was pretty cool. Or actually at our venue, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. Yeah, she's an absolute legend, so it was pretty insane to just be able to meet her, and she was watching rugby, so never knew she was a rugby fan, but that was pretty cool, I'd say.
That's a really cool interaction.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I bet that means a little more too, rather than a text, that personal moment. All right, last one. How has your life changed since winning an Olympic medal?
I will say just being able to share this with the whole country is absolutely just the most rewarding part of this, and just seeing everybody come together and love the sport that me and my teammates love so much. That doesn't really might not impact the logistics of my day-to-day life, but it's totally just given me a whole other reason to be grateful for this sport, and I'm just so excited to see all the young people that pick up a rugby ball after this.
I love that. That's a wonderful answer, and I think I speak for many Canadians when I say we learn more about the sport watching you guys succeed throughout on the biggest stage in the world. So we're so proud of you, and thank you so much, Asia, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
Now, earlier in the week, we brought you a video of Phillies reliever Matt Strom, who told us about his unique baseball card collecting strategy, where he bought cards of any players who could take him deep. That was a pretty wholesome routine, but we're not sure if he can top this video of future Hall of Famer Mike Trout trying to find his rookie card with his son Beckham.
So what are we trying, dude? What are we trying to get?
My cat.
Here we go.
And we gotta get you, Daddy. After that.
On it. Let's see. We need a big shot card.
Yeah, let's believe it, Daddy. Let's see. My father's gotta be.
No way, dude. No way. No way. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's go. Bro, we just pulled it. We just pulled the monster. Let's go, baby. Let's go. No way. Oh my gosh, dude.
Daddy, let's put in one of these.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible to watch. As a card collector myself and someone that loves to let it rip, as Mike Trout said, I can't imagine a better feeling than that pull first and foremost, but being able to do that with your son and share that special moment with family. All right, that's all for today. Marissa will be back Monday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a great weekend.